All right. Hello, everyone. This is the Kubernetes Data Protection Working Group meeting. This is March 18th, 2026. Xing can't make it today, so I'm hosting. Um, Looks like Xing has kindly populated the agenda already, so I will go through these agenda items. If you have anything to add, please add it at the bottom, um, and I'll update it as we go. Um, so CSI CBT has moved to beta. Is this a statement or a question? Um, who's working on the CBT work and what's left to do here? Is it Prasad?
We have already made the release. So the code changes, right, to update the APIs and make new release. That is already done.
All right.
Um, and we just need to publish blog, and the PR for updating documentation is already up. Uh, Carl has raised the PR. We just need to update the release tag there or correct the release tag. We earlier decided to have 0.3.0 as a release tag, but Xing suggested to use version V1 as a release tag for beta, and that's what we use for the release.
I I
Okay, yeah.
accepted, I accepted your change, Prasad, but Shing has a
Okay.
hold on the PR.
Mhm.
Which PR?
This is in Kubernetes CSI docs, PR 637, kind of middle of the page here.
At the
This one.
second line, yeah.
Update the external snapshot metadata sidecar version to beta. Okay. Status beta. Are we not going to keep the history here of when it was alpha from 133 to 135?
No one complained when I removed it, so.
Okay. All right. So this is being held why?
It was because it was pending the release, right? So the release is
Oh, okay,
done.
okay. So it's just
Yeah.
an ordering thing.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
ordering thing. So Prasad had the last comment you see is Prasad. The last feedback was Prasad
yeah,
giving me the actual change, which I accepted. So
yeah. Um, okay. We have a an outstanding KEP change that I think I was reviewing, but it hasn't been updated yet. So we had some feedback. Um, Let me pull it up here. This one, this KEP change.
yeah.
So I think we talked about the rewording, but then a new commit hasn't been pushed, so we don't have anything to approve yet. Um,
Well, the commit hasn't been okay. I'll take a look at it afterwards. I
Maybe I'm confused, but yeah, we talked about it, and then I was waiting for a new commit, and I just never saw it, and it could be on my side. So let me know or poke me on Slack if
no, no, it could be me too because I've been very
okay,
busy elsewhere. So
okay. Anything else on CBT?
mm,
Uh,
Okay. Well, that
yeah,
move.
if you talk about the what is left as for beta release, this end-to-end test PR which needs to be approved. The link is if you scroll up, I think the second point under the heading.
This
Yeah,
one.
this is the PR we need to get in so that the end-to-end test picks up the beta version for testing.
Okay, so it's not work in progress anymore. We have an LGTM and okay to test. Tests have passed. Do you know what is the holdup here? Is this something I could help with, or
Uh,
is Shing gonna prove this?
yeah, I think we just need an approval because the beta version is already released. So,
Yeah. Okay. Someone from KK needs to
mhm.
approve this one. I don't think I can. I don't think I have approval power in that repo. So, all right. That's a good reminder. Well, this is great progress to get to beta. Congratulations to everyone involved. I'm really pleased to see this moving along. Um, okay, moving volume group snapshot to GA in 136. Kept PRs merged. The stress test is merged. There's an issue discovered and the fix is on the way. Is that must be something Xing wrote. So I don't know who put the fix in. We have another CR that's being reviewed here. It's not hyperlinked, but we'll look at it. Move it to V1. So this is a very large change. This looks like the one that actually introduces all the V1 files. So yeah, big change with a lot of automatically generated code. But the 136 release, where do we stand with the Kubernetes release schedule? Is 136 out already? Is it in progress? Who is following the Kubernetes release schedule? I'm just looking it up real quick. Okay, it's still in the future by about 4 weeks. Okay, so there's still time for this, presumably. Probably Xing is doing most of the work. So unless anyone has anything to add, we can move on. So the white paper, this has been in limbo for a while. Do we have any updates on the white paper?
There's a mute button. Nothing new. I mean, we have a few updates, and then I need to get back after it. So yeah, it's kind of in limbo, but need to get working on it.
So what are we aiming for to get this done? Because we've been working on it for a while. Is there a forcing function in terms of like a deadline where this needs to be done by? Or is
I
it
don't think we've
just
ever set one.
okay?
It wouldn't hurt to get it done by, say, next KubeCon. That'd be kind of a nice thing to announce. Not the Amsterdam one, but the
Right.
next one. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. So
we can kind of put that as a aspirational goal.
okay. And what? How many steps are left before we could meet that goal? Like, is it
I'd have to look at it. I mean, we've got the outline there. Need to fill in a lot of the outline, and then it really wouldn't hurt to have other people take a look at it.
okay? So we're still missing some content, and then we need a round of reviews, and then we can publish it and
Yeah.
call it
I mean, I
done.
think if we're all
Yeah.
happy with it, then we can, yeah.
Yeah. I think we should set a goal to try to have this done. I don't know, a little before KubeCon, so there's time to maybe publish it in the mail lists. Maybe people could
Oh,
even have a
yeah.
chance to read it before they get there.
But we
Um,
kind of have like a goal of publishing it at the next KubeCon.
yeah, and we can then work backwards from that self-imposed deadline to say, where do we expect to be in September and where do we expect to be in August, et cetera, and see if we're on track for that. Because it would be good to get this wrapped up, given how long we've been working on it. So thank you. I'll write myself a note that we want to try to get this done by KubeCon.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to hit.
Okay, that sounds good. Volume replication, our favorite topic. Do we have Martin?
My favorite topic, anyway. Yes.
Boy, all right. What do you have for us, Martin?
We do have something to say this week, and I will yield the floor for a moment for someone else to say it.
I guess he means me. I'm Tom Watson from Dell, and we're interested in the proposal for the CSI add-on specification, and we're a little beyond just looking at it from a paper standpoint. We're experimenting with seeing if we can get it to work with one of our drivers. So we see a lot of value in having, over the long term, a standard for replication that could be across Linux distributions and Kubernetes distributions, as well as storage vendor
Okay.
implementations.
That,
So I guess that's what Martin wanted us to say.
awesome. Well, no, that's good news. So Thomas, you said one of your drivers. How many drivers do you guys have exactly?
Uh,
And
Dell
kind of like,
has 5 drivers. So
okay. So like the different products each have
yeah,
their own
different.
driver.
Each is a different kind of array. Yeah.
So when you say one of them, is that because the other four don't even support replication at all, or you
No,
want to
they
start
all
with one and
support
they'll eventually?
replication. This is an evaluation, so
Okay.
we're taking the one that best fits it and is most interesting, and doing a fairly serious evaluation.
Okay. Well, that's awesome news. I guess what would be helpful information, I think, to the rest of us is assuming that that one evaluation goes well, like could the other four ever get on board, or like are more changes going to be needed? Because if you have the perspective of like 5 different storage arrays that all support replication in various forms, you probably are in one of the better positions to have an idea of like, could this be the API that everyone's going to be happy with? Or conversely, like, can we say that some storage products just will never fit the standard API because they're, I don't know, they do replication in some legacy way that's not compatible with modern APIs, and that's fine, and we're okay with like leaving them in some proprietary way of doing replication. I think I
I
don't.
would answer your question this way. So from a block replication standpoint, uh, I mean, we're only seriously looking at one of our arrays, and it's a block implementation that we're doing, and we don't know of any reasons why conceptually it could not be made to work on our other reasons,
Okay.
on our other block arrays. We do also support file, and our file has different semantics about the replication granularity and some of those things. And we have not evaluated it deeply in terms of file. For example, with our power scale array, which is file only, or NFS,
Okay.
it's basically an NFS array.
Okay.
So so we're starting with block and looking at that seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
what I
wasn't
would
like
say.
asking for an answer today, but that's awesome. My thinking is like as you evaluate it, like what the question we would want to answer is as we try to add more products or support this API with more products, how many walls are we going to run into? Are we going to have to make extensions to the API design? Are some just going to be non-starters because they'll just never work given the design? Like those are the kinds of questions that would be interesting to have answers to as we go along. Because if we could reach a state where everyone who wants to support a standard API is happy with it, and the rest of them either are uninterested or you know don't, they're not going to complain. That we're standardizing some API that they can't implement. That would be a really good sign that we're moving in the right direction. Of course,
We're, as I said, we're not far enough to say
yeah.
that definitively, even
But
about the first array, but we're
but we should aim to be able to answer
I
those questions by.
I don't see anything right now that would obstruct us in the first array, and we haven't thought too much about the other arrays that also support block. So I don't worry about that too much. But I do have some concerns about file, but they're not so much with the spec. They're
Okay.
more concerned about the granularity of how our arrays control replication. So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah,
you know, We'll provide more information when we get more concrete answers, I
yes.
guess.
So do the
would be
evaluation and yes, let us know how it turns out. Yeah, as I've mentioned before, my worry is always that we'll find a small handful of vendors that are happy with some design, and then we'll push forward with standardization, and then some other vendors will pop up and say, "Hey, wait, we want you to do it totally differently." And it's like I would rather that those other vendors speak now rather than waiting until after, we get farther down the road. That's,
Yeah, makes sense.
that's my concern. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Um, anything else you wanted to share, Martin?
Yeah. I mean, a couple of things potentially, and thanks a lot, Tom. It's great to actually, kind of be discussing this publicly now. From our perspective, we want this very much to be an ecosystem and a community level capability because in many ways, for a lot of commercial reasons, what we're competing with and what we believe that the community and upstream needs is the ecosystem level capability of dealing with these kinds of replication primitives. And we've just never had it for a bunch of reasons, for I think a number of reasons. Both commercial and not. But we do hope that now is a good time to advance these things. We're very much hoping for more input and more focus on this proposal as time goes on. We've already identified one fairly significant issue for the Dell implementation that we're looking at, which we're working on getting addressed upstream. And
can you give us a hint of what that's like or what the kind of issue it is?
Oh yeah, it's public. It has to do with the way that the driver the add-ons pass volume handles around.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's I had the link for it. So that's something that we identified, fairly.
Did you put the link somewhere? Sorry, I'm just looking for it.
It's in the meeting chat.
Okay. How do I find the chat when I'm in sharing? Oh, there it is. There's the chat window. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So anything like this that we find, we'll definitely want to, kind of publicize and work through. And we're definitely interested in feedback from other parties too. Our concern was that because this exact proposal had been tried once before, that people would not take it seriously and would not have a reason to take it seriously unless at least one other major storage vendor, kind of was willing to publicly participate and say, hey, we think there's something here. So that's kind of our kickoff. We didn't want to waste the working group's time or waste the SIG's time with something that wouldn't didn't have a fairly clear path to success.
Yeah. I agree and thank you. And I guess I would put out a call to any other storage vendors who have replication capabilities. Please take a serious look at this and start throwing darts at it if you're not if you don't think it's something that would make a good standard. We need that feedback to be concrete. So I have a tactical question. So is your vision to take this CSI add-ons repo and standardize the whole thing or some fraction or just some fraction of it? Like assuming that everyone does nod their head and say this is the API we want, it's perfect. Like what would you envision the next step being in terms of making it a standard?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to take all the replication add-ons and standardize them within the CSI spec itself.
Okay, so the idea wouldn't be to like just hand over the existing repo. It would be to copy the relevant parts of it out of the repo into the real CSI spec.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, and then how much? Okay, so the spec is just, a couple of protobuf definitions and some text describing how they work. How about the mechanical parts that implement it? I assume those already exist in some form for Red Hat.
Yeah. For ODF and for Ceph, there's a separate set of controllers. But the idea being that there would be a fairly detailed set of information for how to write your own controller for these things.
Well, I'm asking, like, is there a functional component that's like a sidecar that would be the same for everybody? That's just some common piece of code that implements the Kubernetes API to to CSI, you know, plumbing. And does that code already exist, or am I thinking about this wrong? For
I'm
the
not.
rest
Yeah,
of the CSI spec, there's a bunch of sidecars that actually tie it to Kubernetes.
right.
So is there
The
something
the
like that?
details the details of what the sidecars and things like that do are a bit beyond my technical knowledge of the spec at the moment. As we go through this process, I think that's going to crystallize a lot more.
Okay.
Um,
Well, the specific questions in my mind are like, if there is a bunch of existing code, like, do you plan on donating it, or, somehow putting it under, SIG storage or some other Kubernetes organization, and furthermore, like the ongoing maintenance of that code, like, are there volunteers who are going to maintain it on an ongoing basis? Because what we wouldn't want to have happen is for Red Hat to show up and say, hey, we have this proposal, here's a bunch of stuff, throw it over the wall, and then walk away and have the existing SIG storage people have to maintain that going forward, because um, there's already a lot of burden on the existing maintainers. So, like, if there is new code, we wouldn't want new people to come with it, if you
oh,
know what
that's
I mean.
fair. Yeah, that's completely fair. The idea was never to uh, just kind of drop it and run away.
Yeah,
Um,
I
from that
assume
stand.
not, but I wanted to make that explicit. Um,
Yeah.
so
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah, let me just jump in. There's a sidecar implementation and there's a controller for the volume replication CRD as well. Those are in repos and they patchy licensed. So yeah, they're definitely open and would be contributed, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Because those are just the kinds of implementation details that we'll have to sort through
Yeah.
after we get agreement on some sort of API design. Is okay. Who owns the code? Who's responsible for doing the releases and the security updates, and all that stuff, and how do we maintain control of the code under so the Kubernetes umbrella? We'll have to answer all those questions after we get agreement on the actual API design. So I just want to make sure we're thinking ahead to, assuming that this goes well, you know, how are we going to get the code merged and maintained on an ongoing basis in a way that makes everyone happy? That'll
Yeah.
be an important next step.
Sure.
But for now, it sounds like we're working on the actual API with Dell's help. We can start finding some holes in it and fix them, and then hopefully we can get a couple more vendors to take a look at it. I personally haven't done a deep dive myself, but I want to eventually. I've just been very busy, so thank you. Anything else on the subject of DR and volume replication? All right. So we have a note here that the annual report is merged. I don't know if this is new or if this is a continuation from last week, but looks like Xing looks like the working groups are required to do annual reports, and Xing has taken care of that. So thank you, Xing, in absentia. Any other topics for today? Going once. Going twice. All right, we'll give you 30 minutes back. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.